That wasn't for us, it was just the septic. Guys, it's GCI. It's GCI. Oh look, there's Thunderhead. This is a wooden roller coaster that I'm building in my backyard, and we are giving you another construction update. So let's get it! The last two videos have consisted of a clearing portion, which was where I cleared the land, and then the second video was where we started to put in posts for the tower. That tower is finished up today to where we can stand 10 foot in the air. The elements on this roller coaster are not very crazy. We start off at a 10-foot drop, which has a max angle of 45 degrees. The next element is an airtime hill that gives fairly good ejector airtime. After that comes a 15-foot spike, which you will only traverse probably like 8 feet of it. Going backwards now through the layout, you traverse the airtime hill again, giving not as strong airtime, but it still does give airtime. You hit the drop again, fall back forward, and then valley in front of the airtime hill and the spike. Nothing crazy, but it will be a wild experience to do in the woods, especially at night. Now, we get back to the construction update. In some of these shots, it might be hard to see what is actually going on. That is just because of the angle of the camera. But what I'm basically doing is tacking on a 2x6 to these 4x4s, making sure everything is straight, and it also prevents the tower from moving from a side-to-side action, and the 2x6 will act as a support for the floorboard later on, which I will get into later. Here's a cool update for you. We're 10 foot up. And over there is where the drop is gonna be. Let's go. So we are currently standing on a 2x6 right now, and it is bolted to, the tower. Right there is gonna be kind of where the drop is. And you're gonna drop down, go over the creek, do an airtime hill, go back, spike, and come back backwards. Now it's time to do a frame on this thing and get a platform up. Let's go! So just like in the other shots, we were putting up some 2x6s in this shot, and it is sped up so it is a little easier to see what is going on, but again, that is for lateral side-to-side action, which is not entirely the best thing. You'll see later on we improve that too by putting some V supports in. But this 2x6 also, or 2x6s that surround the tower, also form as a support for the floorboard or the standing portion of this tower. So on top of them will go the floorboards. Most of the wood that I'm using in this video are pine and treated so that it can withstand the temperature and just the weather outside. It was one of the cheapest options, and it honestly does the job. The dimensions of wood that I used in this video were mostly 2x6s. They were just strong enough and did the job, so that's what I used. So now that we have beams all the way around the tower supporting the top and the bottom, we can now brace everything with X's. As you can see, we'll put them in between each 4x4, which will act as a brace in between the two 4x4s, and this will make everything more sturdy and just stronger in general. First, measure this. Oh yes, the smell of fresh wood in the back of a car. Bruh. So this is one of our posts, and look how bent it is. Thanks, Home Depot. And this is not supposed to be a piece of track, it's supposed to be a post. So, yeah. So with some advanced modifications, I actually change something about the roller coaster. This is actually going to be the drop now, and you're going to come like this, and then boom, you're going to do like that. So I've decided that we're not even going to have our cart. You're just going to sit down on this and just slide down. You might have to jump a little right here so your butt doesn't get caught right here. But yeah, it's not going to be a roller coaster anymore, guys. It's going to be a giant slide. Just kidding. I don't know why I did this, but I thought it'd be funny. here is the V-bracing that I talked about earlier. This is a more of a lateral support so that the tower won't shift side to side. It also just looks visually appealing to see this V all the way around the tower. I was initially going to use these X's, which were a V in the front and then a V flipped on the back, which visually would look like an X. But after we put on one of the first V's, it really didn't need it. It was just so strong that we didn't need the whole other side. So we just settled for a V on every single side of the tower. And after that was done, it turned out really strong. This thing was not moving. And it was even stronger when we put the floorboards on top. But the V supports, they look great and they do their job and are very strong. As you can see, we're tacking them in here into the 4x4s. Now the final thing to do is to put slats across the top and we can stand on it. Let's go! This is when things began to get a little complicated with the height of this tower. It was hard to get up there with only one ladder, so I had to manually climb all the lumber that was already tacked in, which wasn't very hard, but when you're trying to haul 2x6 up there, it's not one of the easiest things in the world, and then trying to get everything level at the top wasn't very easy either. But we got it all tacked in, and it's looking nice and dandy, and it brings everything together nicely so that we can put floorboards on top of these. Definitely not eating lunch on top of my roller coaster. My camera actually lost footage, so I'm just giving you a little update. We have these beams running across here, these three right here in the middle, and with those beams we use brackets to tack onto these 2x6s around the perimeter, and then what we're going to do is going to start laying this across these beams like that. So we're going to have to shave this middle 4x4 right here because that's where the drop is going to be. So we have to shave it in order to actually have a drop there. So we will do the rest of these and then we will have a complete tower. In some of these shots, you'll see me using a little piece of wood, placing it in between the other 2x6s like that. That is our spacer, and it's how we have the gaps so straight and the same between every single piece of wood. And that's just so water can fall through and it won't congregate on top of the platform, and so things like pine needles and leaves won't necessarily stay on top of this platform. Screw. Let's go! That is it. That is a finished tower, basically. We still have some gaps here that we gotta fill in, and then there's a stairway, of course, but that's gonna be a different part. It looks so cool. That's all I can say. I mean, we're 10 foot up. We're gonna be dropping that way, and hopefully here. Like, this is the view you're gonna get before you drop. Go like that. Over there to a spike. This is what it looks like from the ground view. All the top things are not level because we're just gonna take a saw and cut them all flush with that 2x6 right there. so we didn't really care about putting them flush, so we'll get rid of that. But yeah, this is cool. That's 10 foot up, and the drop is that way. That's gonna do it for today's video. Thanks for watching. We will come with a new update, and who knows when, but that update will feature the new trains, so that's something to look forward to. This is done. Thanks for watching WereWolf episode 3. Keep on coastering.